How's it going, Kaiju fans? Is the host with the most, Gubila. Once again, I'm doing a request by JW, aka MG Kiryu. So shout out to him, and also if you're watching this, JW, I really enjoyed your Baragon theory, and I think it's a really good one at that. Anyways, without further ado, let's see the contenders. In today's battle, we're pinning two of the fishiest Kaiju. Our first contender is an alien goblin shark bird-like kaiju from a planet of fish that eats humans and travels to the planet Earth to eat and enslave all humans. Zigra, the deadly sea monster. And his opponent is a fish-like monstrosity living in the depths of the sea, Gubila, the undersea monster. Before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know that I've researched the best I can with these two, and honestly they don't have a lot of information, especially with abilities, but I've searched and watched the best I can. So let's dive into this whale of a battle. Thank you, I'm here all night. First up, as usual, is height and weight, starting off with Zigra. In his land form, he stands around 80 meters tall, or 262.48 feet tall, and is around 75 metric tons, or 150,000 pounds. Now, I couldn't really find the exact measurement of Zigra's aquatic form. However, there was one claim online that he's 65 meters in length, as well as being 25,000 metric tons. However, since there's no official statement that I could find for Zigra's aquatic form, I found this with this art. To be honest, it seems a bit fishy to me, so I guess you can say I jumped the shark with that one. Oh, come on guys, you're being selfish. Sorry about that, everyone. But anyways, let's move on. Next we have Gubila. Thankfully, he's got stuff to work with, as he's 50 meters or 164.05 feet tall, and he's 35,000 tons. Again, doing the math, we get 70 billion pounds. I'm not going to argue with this one, because the winner for height and weight is Gubila, as there's not a lot of information for Zigra's aquatic form. So moving on. Coming up next is strength. Now let's start with Zigra. Now, despite his height and weight being all over the place, thankfully he has feats of strength. His best feat of strength was when he was in his aquatic form. It's shown and stated that he's much stronger and faster in the water. For example, he was able to slash through Gamera's tough shell without a hitch. Also, this is the same shell that tanked Zigra's earthquake inducting beam. The same beam that can cause gigantic earthquakes of more than 12 magnitudes, even between 16 to 18 magnitudes. A good example of this is when the Death Star caused a magnitude 18 earthquake on Alderaan. By the way, shout out to XCD's What If. So for Zigra to slice through Gamera's shell, the same shell that can take blasts from a beam that can cause a magnitude 12 earthquake, is absolutely insane. I know this sounds like I'm power scaling, but believe me, I don't even know how to power scale. Anyways, let's move on to Gubila. Now, Gubila, of course, has shown his strength. Now, given his fighting skills is like a bullish fighter, he managed to tackle Ultraman, who is 35,000 tons, the same weight as him. Honestly, I would say Gubila takes the win, even though it's stated that Zigra is much stronger in the water. However, here's the thing though, Gubila fought Ultraman on land, and Zigra, meanwhile, is weakened by the sun due to living in deep waters for a very long time. So yeah, it's kind of sucks when you think about it. Next up is speed. Let's look at Zigra once again. Just like with strength, he's shown some speed as well. In water, he's described as having great speed, as well as dodging attacks from Gamera, and can also outmaneuver him as well. He's pretty close to Gamera's speed, but how fast is Gamera exactly? His speed is described according to Akio when talking to Tom in Gamera vs. Giron, saying that he believes that Gamera was currently flying at Mach 3 while keeping up with the Terran UFO. He also stated that he's much faster than the Apollo 8, possibly even reaching Mach 33, and even Mach 50. So for Zigra to outmaneuver Gamera is crazy. So he would have to at least be around Mach 3. Now what about Gubila? Well, again, let's look at his opponent, Ultraman. Now Ultraman's speed is at around Mach 50 according to sources online. Now since Gubila managed to outmaneuver him, especially in the water, we can assume he's possibly around Mach 4. So who wins at speed? Honestly, I would give it to Zigra, as he pretty much matches Gamera's speed. Now it's time for intelligence and battle intelligence. This time we'll look at Gubila. Now his thinking is mostly animalistic. However, he did catch Ultraman's Ultra Slash and launched it back. But for the most part, he relies on his brute strength as well as his abilities. Up next is Zigra. Now he is described as having average intelligence, as he plans out attacks, uses his abilities at the right moment, as well as mind controlling a woman named Chikako Suragawa and kidnapping children, forcing the humans to surrender. Looking at their intelligence, I would give the win to Zigra for intelligence and battle intelligence, as Gubila is more of a bullish fighter and acts on an animalistic behavior. Following up next is agility. Gubila is very agile despite his bull-like build. Same with Zigra, as he's a lot more agile as he outmaneuvers and dodges Gamera's attacks. But this is in the waters, but honestly, I would say that it's a tie for agility for both of them, so yeah. Not only just because, but also they're pretty similar in a way. Coming up next, we have durability. Taking a look at Gubila, as he has some good durability, as well as taking the assault from missiles, but at the end he did get one-shot by Ultraman. At least he has good durability, better than Zigra's anyways. According to sources, again, he's extremely sensitive to light, more specifically the sun, due to him living in the dark depths of the ocean on his world, but he also gets one-shotted by Gamera's fire breath. I would say that Gubila takes the win for durability just because of Zigra not taking light. Next we have abilities. Now Zigra has a good amount of abilities. For example, he has 3 beams. First is his Cell Savicity Suspension Beam, an orange beam to paralyze opponents or stop their cells from functioning. Next, he has a 4th dimensional beam, a green beam that can basically teleport or move objects with any given will. But he also has the best one, of course, his Earthquake Inducting Beam, a destructive beam that can cause gigantic earthquakes of more than 12 magnitudes, or 16 to 18 as I previously mentioned. Also, he can transfigure from ocean form to land form at will. Then let's look at Gubila. Now Gubila has somewhat of amount of ability, such as being an extraordinary jumper, jumping and tackling towards enemies. He's also capable of using his drill for burrowing at high speeds. Speaking of which, his drill is called the Die Hard drill, as it can burrow as well as attack enemies. Then he has the drill catch, which is strong enough to catch Ultraman's Ultra Slash as well as shooting it back. He also has a water spray similar to a whale, where he can basically blow water from his forehead. Now it might not be that powerful enough, but it's also good for close range combat, especially when an enemy is close into his face. Gubila is also an adaptive swimmer, as he's capable of swimming into high speeds. I would give the win to Zigra for abilities, as I feel like he could have the advantage with his beams over Gubila. Then we have physical weapons. Taking a look at both forms of Zigra, both of them have sharp, deadly blades nearly covering their entire body and having deadly sharp teeth. Then looking at Gubila, he has a bulky body with a drill, small tail, flippers to swipe at opponents, as well as a blowhole. Honestly, the winner for physical weapons goes to Zigra. With a score of 4-3 and a tie at agility, the winner is Zigra. The reason why I say this is that due to him being much stronger in the water, and if he can possibly get Gubila in the water to fight him, I could see Zigra giving Gubila a hard time. However, if he was forced to fight on land, Zigra may get a bit weakened on land due to the sun, and also may get stressed out by Gubila charging into him and overpowering him. But realistically, he can use one of his beams to paralyze or even destroy Gubila with his beam. Now let me know what you guys think of this. Was this the fight you expected or something else? Let me know. But anyways, that's it for today. This is the host with Most signing off. I'll see you later, and let me know what other battles you want me to do next.